Okay, open public hearing, proposal, supplement budget appropriations for fiscal year 2017, 2018. I'm going to turn it over to our financial director, Matt Brown.
Thank you, Mayor. So we are having, purpose of the public hearing tonight is for a resolution adopting a supplemental budget for the fiscal year of 17-18. The document is fairly large as far as what we are changing. The reason it is so large is mainly because of all the fund structure changes that we did in this fiscal year. And so after the audit gets done, normally I like to do it in January, a supplemental budget to update all the beginning fund balances and then make any changes if we need to. Since that audit ran a little bit long, and then it took me a little bit longer to figure out where everything should go as far as beginning fund balances. So there is technically a rule, if the fund doesn't change more than 10%, you don't have to do a public hearing. There were a mixture of funds that were both over 10% and change, and then less than 10% and change. I decided just to consolidate it all into one budget document. That way it's all in one place. Yep. You only have to prove one thing instead of doing two different resolutions. And then that became an issue a couple years back in an audit in another city where the auditors couldn't figure out what happened between the two resolutions because they changed two different things and it was kind of a mess. So I tried to make things as simple and easy as possible. So most of these changes are fund balance changes, and so whether the fund balance goes up or down, that determines what I do on the other side as far as expenses. Whether I need to lower expenses somewhere, usually that means lowering contingency amounts. There are a few changes that I'm already aware of in the budget that we needed to make in materials and services and personnel, just from all the changes that happened throughout the year. So those are included in here as well. And we will likely do another similar supplemental budget in June to shore up anything else that I happen to miss. So if
because you'll have a year ending by then, is that correct?
Yeah, we'll be a little bit closer to estimates.
Yep.
So I know what we're going to spend if we're going to go over anywhere or anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So if the council doesn't have any questions, I'll open it up to the floor for any comments from the public. Patrick will come up.
Is the mic on?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, Patrick Berkeley, 254 South 14th Street. So I guess I'm just, as I was looking at the material that was provided and the way I'm understanding it and what you are explaining is that there's not any real significant difference in, there's not a big change in the income or the revenues and the actual expenditures, but because of the restructuring of the funds,
yes,
kind of just making sure that it's understandable, making sure that you can adequately account for what's come in and what's going out.
Yep.
So, okay, that's all. That's all I have to say.
Because we did that on the last budget meeting last year. We
right. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I remember that. So, okay, that's all I wanted to know. Thank you.
Okay. No other comments from the public. We are safe to close the hearing then.
Okay. Hearing closed.